What's up guys? In today's video, I will show you top 5 best wireless headphones. Number 1. Beats Studio 3 Wireless. Beats Studio 3 wireless headphones offer a comfortable fit, decent active noise cancellation, and clean, though a sometimes overly processed sound profile. From the outside, the Studio 3 headphones look pretty similar to the 2014 Beats Studio Wireless. They are constructed mostly of plastic on both the ear cups and the outer headband, but have a fairly sturdy metal band underneath, allowing 10 steps of adjustment on each side. I used the smallest setting that was comfortable, but the largest was so big, the headphones nearly fell off my head. The headphones come in 6 colors, including white, pink, and gray, but I got my hands on the matte black model. It's an ideal choice if you want to blend into your environment rather than stick out with the more eye-popping candy, apple red or bright blue. Connecting the Beats Studio 3 Wireless to my iPhone 6s was effortless. It took less than 2 seconds to get connected. With the slew of Android phones, it was just as easy to connect to the Pixel 2, Samsung Galaxy 3 and 5, though those phones took 1 or 2 extra seconds to pair. Before using the Pixel 2, I had relied on the Samsung Galaxy S7 as my main phone, which simply would not pair no matter what I did, including enlisting Apple's customer service and engineering departments for help. You'll find the smart controls on the left ear cup. Pressing the top or bottom of the outer ring surrounding the Beats logo lets you decrease the volume. A quick tap on the logo will pause music or answer, and calls. Double tapping advances to the next track, and triple tapping will go to the previous song. The Studio 3's ANC is not the best I've heard, but it helped to reduce the low droning of the construction crew, using some large power equipment outside my window. Since I wasn't traveling during the testing period with these headphones, I listened to a simulated track of airline noise through my soundbar at 90% volume. The Beats Studio 3 did an adequate job of minimizing airline rumble, though it was certainly still audible. Beats have always been known to have a more aggressive music profile than other, more natural sounding headphones, especially in the lower frequencies, as EDM and hip-hop are 2 of my favorite genres of music these days. It's nice to have a pair of cans that really let you feel the bass drop. Number 2. Bose Quiet Comfort 45. The QC45 have solid noise cancellation, but they're bettered in sound quality by the class leaders, carrying the torch for Bose's enduringly popular quiet comfort noise. Canceling headphone range brings with it certain preconceptions, and not just in terms of class, leading active noise, canceling performance. This is, after all, a line that has largely impressed across the board for the best part of 2 decades. Anyone hoping for a complete revamp of the 2019 released QC35II, which are themselves minor updates on 2016. Launched QC35, brace yourselves. The QC45 are virtually indistinguishable from their predecessor, visually at least, in a game of spot. The difference between the two, look closely, and you'll find a USB-C charging port instead of the now archaic micro USB. The underside padded portion of the headband is now smooth rather than sewed, like 2, and the ear pads are no longer pleated. There are also some very minor tweaks to the ear cups. They now have vents, in a bid to add depth and fullness without increasing their size, and Bose has apparently reinforced the headband with glass-filled nylon to protect them when dropped and to help maintain their shape. The plastic also feels marginally more streamlined with smaller gaps between casework elements, but you have to look really closely to spot any of this. If you want a set of wireless over-ear headphones you can put on, deploy noise, canceling on your commute or at your desk, and largely extinguish the outside world for up to 24 hours. The Bose AQ45 has the edge over most of the competition at the price, and for many, that will be the end of the story. Number 3. Sennheiser Momentum 4. The Sennheiser Momentum 4 Wireless are the latest over-ear wireless headphones from Sennheiser, and if Sony isn't worried, it should be. These cans have an incredible battery life, a likable app, an extensive feature set, easy on, ear controls, talented adaptive noise cancellation, and a zealous sound that'll have you nodding your head happily wherever you go. Sennheiser has packed everything and the kitchen sink into the Momentum 4 Wireless's spec sheet. Aside from that remarkable 60-hour battery life, which, before you ask, is at normal volume levels and with active noise cancellation engaged, That's twice the stamina of many rivals, including the Sony WH-1000 XM4 and XM5, which both offer 30 hours, and the Bose CUPE-45 and Bose Noise, canceling 700, which offer between 24 and 30 hours. What the Sennheiser Momentum 4 wireless design lacks in physical flair, it atones for in functionality. For example, the fact that the ear cups are no longer anchored in the middle to the headband means firstly that adjusting them is a silent experience, and secondly that the entirety of the right ear cup's top surface is now a touchpad. This can be tapped once for playback pause, swiped from near your cheek towards your crown, or vice versa for track skipping, swiped up down for volume adjustment, or pinched in the same way as you might zoom in on your phone when looking at photos for increasing or minimizing a EAK. This touchpad is accurate and refreshingly dependable, to the point that we often forego our phone entirely when queuing up music on our commute. In terms of comfort, this new design doesn't initially look that well padded, but what cushioning there is more than sufficient because the relatively wide headband does a great job of distributing pressure across your crown so that nothing wears heavily or pinches, even after several hours of wear. And the clamping force is good, but not aggressively so. The noise cancellation in the Sennheiser Momentum 4 wireless is very good indeed. Taking to the streets, we find cars, barking dogs, and the general thrum of everyday life largely absent from our now unimpeded music. Number 4. Sony WF-1000 XM4. While now surpassed by the new XM5, the WF-1000 XM4 remain musical all-rounders at a very attractive price. For the WF-1000 XM4, Sony went back to the drawing board and designed a brand new pair that looked nothing like their class leading predecessors. Was it a brave move? Definitely. Crazy? Quite possibly, but it worked. Initial contact with the EF-1000 XM4 may perhaps be a surprising one. Sony has ditched the usual glossy box for recycled packaging made from a special blend of paper. This makes for a more compact box, 34% smaller than the WF-1000 XM3s, and one that's plastic-free. That's great news for the environment, even if it doesn't really give off the vibe that you've just bought a pair of premium noise canceling headphones. Flip open the magnetic case and you'll see the all-new earbud design of the WF-1000 XM4, based on a combination of customer feedback about the XM3 and research. About the human ear, Sony has settled on a rounder body that sits more inside the ear opening. It's a shape Sony has kept for the XM5, though those new earbuds are 20% lighter and 25% smaller than these WF-1000 XM4. The matte finish on each earbud gives the headphones a premium feel, while the small accents around the microphone and sensor holes add a tiny splash of color. Speaking of color, the XM4 come in a choice of black or silver. Before we get to the WF-1000 XM4's immense musicality and expressive dynamics, we should note the way the headphones handle bass. The quality of bass and the clarity of low frequencies is stunning. There's such a fantastic level of detail on display that it makes some rivals sound congested in comparison. We're keen to hear how the earbuds handle one of our favorite bass, Heavy Test Tracks, Massive Attacks Angel, and we're blown away by the confidence with which the song is dispatched. Every element of that pulsing bass line is precisely deployed and dripping in texture. It's the clarity around the notes that really grabs you. It allows the WF-1000 XM4 to communicate intricacies in the bass notes that other headphones struggle to uncover. Number 5. Sony WF-1000 XM5. It can be tricky for a manufacturer to push the sound performance of a product consistently from generation to generation. But that is what Sony has managed to do with the E1000 XM5 wireless headphones. Not only that, it has been achieved while executing a major redesign. The Sony XM5 headphones might feel a little less premium than before, but the jump in sound quality from the previous generation is a big one, and rivals could once again have their work cut out. If you are looking for a new pair of wireless noise canceling headphones, your auditioning should start here. In recent years, Sony has struck upon a winning formula that has seen it build some of the best noise-canceling headphones on the market. Each iteration has looked pretty similar to the last, but it has been the gradual improvements in sound quality, noise, canceling, and call quality that have kept the E1000 line of headphones one step ahead of the competition. The design changes made to the Sony HU1000XM5 are significant. Sony refers to the new look as a noiseless design, which has seen the company attempt to create a slimmer, more seamless pair of headphones by reworking those areas that can contribute to wind noise. This has led to smoother, sweeping lines and less aggressive edges. Importantly, a number of the joints and hinges that allow the XM4's ear cups to be folded away have also been given the boot. As a result, the Sony XM5 headphones simply fold flat, like the Bose Noise canceling HePhone 700, but don't fold any smaller. It's bad news to those of us who like to fold their headphones into a ball and fling them in a rucksack without a second thought. Immediately, the Sonys feel a bit more vulnerable, and we feel obliged to use the supplied carry case, which, even though it has also been revamped, still takes up valuable space. Sony's noise canceling technology has consistently wowed us in recent years, and once again, it is claiming that the E1000XM5 deliver the best in the business. After focusing on low-frequency noise in previous models, this time Sony has attempted to improve noise cancellation further up the frequency range in the XM5. The EA1000XM5 possess all the elements that have made the previous generation's class leaders at the money, including that effortlessly musical sound. But this latest generation manages to deliver even greater clarity and a more open presentation. It's actually quite a jump. Battery life is still a substantial 30 hours with Bluetooth and noise canceling enabled. Turn off the latter and the EU1000XM5s will squeeze out 40 hours, an increase of 2 hours. Compared with the XM4, a 10-minute charge should give you 5 hours of battery life, while a quicker USB-T charger can up the ante to 3 hours in just 3 minutes.